Denver migrants sent Mayor Mike Johnston a list of 13 demands as they refused to clear encampment, move into shelter. This is a list of demands they expect to be met. Number 1. Migrants will cook their own food with fresh, culturally appropriate ingredients provided by the city instead of pre-made meals. Rice, chicken, flour, oil, butter, tomatoes, onions, etc. Also, people will not be punished for bringing in and eating outside food. Shower access will be available without time limits and can be accessed whenever. We are not in the military, we are civilians. Medical professional visits will happen regularly, and referrals/connections for specialty care will be made as needed. All will receive the same housing support that has been offered to others. They cannot kick people out in 30 days without something stable established. There needs to be a clear, just process before exiting, including verbal, written, and final warnings. All shelter residents will receive connection to employment support, including work permit applications for those who qualify, consultations for each person/family with a free immigration lawyer must be arranged to discuss/process their cases. And then the city will provide ongoing legal support in the form of immigration document, clinics, and including transportation to relevant court dates. The city will provide privacy for families/individuals within the shelter. No more verbal or physical or mental abuse will be permitted from the staff, including no sheriff sleeping inside and monitoring 24/7. We are not criminals and won't be treated as such. Transportation for all children to and from their schools will be provided until they finish in 3 weeks. No separating families, regardless of if family members have children or not. The camp will stay together. The city must schedule a meeting with the mayor and those directly involved in running the newcomer program ASAP to discuss further improvements and ways to support migrants. The city must provide all residents with a document signed by a city official in English and Spanish with all of these demands that includes a number to call to report mistreatment. Fox 31 reported that the migrants had stayed at an encampment under busy Central Park Boulevard in northeast Denver before they relocated under a bridge near Denver. Denver Human Services spokesperson John Ewing told Fox 31, "We've been offering time and shelter, basically just trying to get families to leave that camp and come inside." Someone named Reeves said this, and no, it's not Keanu Reeves. Every new migrant that comes is going to be left to fend for themselves after 24 to 72 hours. It's a slap in the face and an offensive period of time. And Lauren Boebert, one of the few America First representatives of the United States of America, obviously she wasn't a fan of this, saying this: "Denver has now opened a hotline for residents to call up and offer up their own homes to illegals. If you have extra space, you're encouraged to host a migrant for some time." This is the most asinine and ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Someone named Carrera said this: "We are not going to block you. If you want to stay here, I am here to tell you, no, your path is not over." She said that in Spanish. If you stay here, you are going to suffer even more, and I don't want to see this. So migrants want to cook their own food with culturally appropriate ingredients. They want shower access 24/7. They want medical services. They essentially want permanent housing. They can't be kicked out in 30 days without at least being notified of another housing unit they can go to. They want work permits. They want free lawyers. They want transportation to their court hearings. Transportation for their children as well. They want to meet with the mayor and the people who are directly involved in making this program possible to discuss how they could support migrants even more. And they want a signed document in both English and Spanish, signed by a city official, indicating that all the demands have been met, have a specific number to report mistreatment as well. No. Illegal immigrants who do not belong here in the first place do not get to make demands about the quality of care they get in a place where they do not belong. I said that before. In a place where they do not belong, I said that before. That's what I want to know. Instead of making demands in America, why don't you make those demands back in your home country? Why do we have to support you? We have to provide culturally appropriate ingredients. The city of Colorado does. Does Mexico not have food? Does Guatemala not have food? Does no other place have food? Do they not have showers? Do they not have soap? Do they not have water? Do they not have hospitals/medical professionals? That's what they say on Quora.com, if you've ever heard of that website. And before and after, since I've washed and cleaned with tap water around the world, I drank filtered or bottled water. Oh yes, you can shower, wash your face, brush your teeth with the tap water. It's not too safe to drink. I mean, just think about it. Migrant shelters, tax dollars are already going for those. Tax dollars are already paying for those. They want the tax dollars to provide fresh, culturally appropriate ingredients too. They want the tax dollars to provide them and their children rides to school, rides to their court appointments. They want the taxpayers to pay for lawyers. This is asinine. Go back to your country of residence, your original country of residence, and demand that your government fix its own country so it can be livable. We have our own citizens to take care of, and it is not our priority to prioritize people who shouldn't even be here in the first place. Go get a job back in your own original country and give them that list of demands you gave to Mayor Mike Johnston. Instead of essentially forcing American taxpayers to pay for your culturally appropriate food so you can cook it, you should meet with an official of your home country, give him or her a list of demands like you gave Mayor Mike Johnston. Give one of your country's officials a list of demands about how you can make your home country a better place. Because right now we're $30 trillion in debt. We're borrowing money from China. It is not a good idea to be prioritizing foreigners who don't belong here in the first place. Again, if I was a city official, this is how I would do things. We would have a maximum of one homeless shelter per state. And those will be just for Americans, not foreigners. Food stamps, EBT, welfare benefits, we're going to cut those programs. We just have to stop spending so much money. So instead of trying to make America accommodate you and illegal immigrants like you through the use of tax dollars, why don't you have productive and meaningful dialogue with your own country's representatives, and you can make insert name of country here great again.